The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. You're wondering, what is it? How does it work? And most importantly, is it worth it? We're going to answer all of those questions and help you make a decision right here on Monroe World. Stick around.
Let's go into the Monroe world.
Hi everyone, Shane R. Monroe here, and today I want to talk about The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of all the things that I was planning to do in Vegas, go up on the Strat, go to a couple of great shows, this is the one that everybody asks me about. So while I uploaded some shorts during my time there and a couple more over the last couple of days, I thought it would be useful to actually dedicate some time to talking about The Wizard of Oz in its own separate video, because it's expensive. And if you're not 100% sure what you're going to get or what's inside, if you're a purist, is this going to piss you off? If you hate AI, is this going to piss you off? There are so many things to talk about. So what you're seeing here, of course, on the screen is the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. The Sphere is absolutely huge. It's really hard to understand by seeing pictures. And I will put some overlays here from some of the stuff that I took pictures of, so that you can get a non-purified version. But as you can see, the thing is absolutely freaking huge. All right, so if we look at what their presentation is, 167,000 speakers, 4D effects, right? An immersive journey on this huge spherical screen. Feel, experience, hear, all for yourself, right? If you've watched videos of this on YouTube, if you have had people tell you about it, it's not going to match up to the experience that you'll experience while you're here. So I'll do my best, but just understand it's something that has to be seen in person, not on a video, etc., etc. So the Sphere is basically a big auditorium. And inside is like, I don't remember what the exact dimensions are, but it's 160,000 square feet, but it wraps around you, right? So if you can think about, if you've ever been to like the Back to the Future ride or the Simpsons ride or one of those other ones where you're sort of having that experience and the theater is wrapped around you. That's what the Sphere is, only it is just so freaking huge that it just baffles the mind. And it's so bright, it's so colorful, and it's absolutely crazy. So there's a whole bunch of things you could look at here. One thing that you're going to notice if you're looking at a lot of these stills or you watch videos that other people have posted, they've taken some liberties. Okay, first off, it's not the whole film. It's been trimmed down to just over an hour. So if you're hoping to see the entire Wizard of Oz in this format, you're not going to see the whole thing. You're going to see most of it, and all of the key points are well made. Some of the audio's been re-recorded, and if you can imagine, if you take a small 4x3 screen or even a 16x9 screen, and you have to wrap it around a ball, how do you do that without it looking terrible? Well, you have to fill in everything that's not on the screen originally with AI generation. And while you're there, let's go ahead and take liberties with everything else. So if you're a purist, this might not be the way you want to see Wizard of Oz. It might bother you. If you're a casual lover of The Wizard of Oz, you're probably not going to see anything. But if you've seen the movie more than, say, 10 times, or it's an annual favorite of yours, you're going to see things, and it's going to be like, that doesn't look natural. That's not right. I don't remember that from the movie. Plenty of that going on in here. So whether that bothers you or not, it's about you. The one thing that you hear about all the time, right, is you hear about the tornado inside of, okay, maybe for some reason you've never seen The Wizard of Oz. I'm not going to spoil anything, but The Wizard of Oz is one of those coming of age tales. Young girl, upset with her home life, mad at everybody, right? She's a teenager, and she gets caught out in a tornado, and she is whisked away to a magical land of munchkins and witches and flying monkeys, all that good stuff, right? Is it all in her mind? Of course it is. But for the film, she meets a scarecrow. She meets a tin man. She meets a cowardly lion, right? The tin man wants a heart. The scarecrow wants a brain. So You can only imagine that with the age of the thing, this came out, what, the 30s? I don't remember exactly. But you have to assume that there's a lot of tinkering going on, and there is a lot of tinkering going on. So they have a lot of frequently asked questions. By the way, this late seating permitted thing, late seating is not permitted, my ass. Okay, so this is one thing that's going to probably piss you off. I'm going to try to give you some overlays. If you've never been to the Sphere for anything, you have to understand that the seating is almost like a 20-degree angle up, right? So it's almost terrifying to go to your seat, to be honest with you. And everybody that walks by you after you're already seated, people that are below you, people that are behind you, everybody's talking about how terrifying the seating is. If you have a problem with vertigo, or you have a problem with essentially almost sitting on a straight line against a wall, you might think twice about going to the Sphere. It's scary, and it doesn't get less scary the longer you sit there, but it does help the immersion. You're not looking at the back of somebody's head. And for a brief period of time, in this case, just over an hour, you can forget that anybody else is there in the theater with you. So that's pretty cool. Late seating is absolutely permitted. We had a couple with their kid in the opening number, way into the opening number, have to walk in front of us, which means you have to stand up, you have to lean way back, because otherwise they feel like they're going to fall as they walk by you. Totally interrupted the show. And while we were there, during the first 2 numbers of the show, more people were still climbing in. So don't believe this late seating shit, because they will let pretty much anybody in at any time. Worse yet, that same couple and kid that we had to stand up for at the beginning also decided they wanted to leave early. So they watched 3/4 of the show, and then as the last number was finishing up, they made us all stand up so that they could leave. So I don't like that at all, and we were not the only ones that had that situation. So they say it's 75 minutes, which is probably right. Let's see. Late seating is not permitted. Like I said, BS. Age requirement, 6+. Yeah, you obviously have to have a ticket no matter how old you are. It's a little precarious to get around in the Sphere. I don't know if I would bring young children, not because it's too scary, but because it's hard to keep track of people. The stairs are extraordinarily steep. The siding is very, very steep. And this isn't just grumpy old man talking. Everybody was freaked out. Even the young couple sitting next to us was like, wow, I thought we were going to fall. And it's like, it's got to happen more than we think. So they talk about special effects, 4D, right? What does 4D mean? Well, 4D, if you've never been to Disney or Universal, 4D means that there is motion sensing in the seats. There's haptics buzzing the seats underneath you, flashing lights. There's fire, right? If you're sitting towards the back, you're not going to really get any nearby the fire, but there are butterflies flying through the air. There are flying monkeys, like in the flying monkey thing. I don't want to spoil that for you, but there's actually flying monkeys flying around. So they will drop styrofoam apples. There will be little flicks of leaves flying around. So again, there's lighting and there's fire and there's roaring, and it's very, very loud. So those sort of things, most people love that stuff. I know I do, but some people may not love it. So there are some alternative seating if you don't want to experience that. Can you take pictures? Not during the film experience. Okay, so the ass hat sitting right in front of me recorded the entire show on his phone. The entire thing front to back. So photo and video may be taken throughout the atrium, but not permitted during the film experience. First off, it's dumb as hell to do that. One, because you can't get the experience from a video, right? Plain and simple, it can't be done. So it doesn't matter how good of a photographer you are. You're not going to be able to get the scope and breadth of what you're seeing, okay? And second, there's just too much going on. Why would you want to ruin? You're spending a ton of cash to sit there and look behind your phone. It's ridiculous. There are no headsets or wearable technology, which is great. So let's talk about what it costs. And this is why you're here, probably watching this. Is it worth it? Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's so worth it. Da-da-da. Yeah, okay, so that's the question. I'm going to do my best to answer it for you, and it's going to depend on who you are. So let's take a look at what these tickets might look like. I know what I paid, but I want you guys to see sort of what you're in for, right? So the screen actually starts about here, right here, and then all the way around, right? So are there bad seats? No. If you want to be part of the fire, well, not in the fire, but if you want to be part of the fire and the butterflies and all of that stuff, the falling apples, right? There's a huge thing going online about people stealing the apples that fall. They're not stealing them, but they're taking the apples that fall. People kicking each other's asses over apples. It's like Beanie Babies all over again. If you want one of those, you're going to want to sit here in the front because all of the good stuff is catered to right here in the front. And you can see the ticket prices. Holy hell. If you really want the VIP front and center, $350 a ticket. That's right. $350 a ticket. If you want the flanks, they're $134. And if you want here, which is where I sat, was $124. So think about this, folks. It's $10 between here and here. Here is going to offer you a much better experience than here, and it's $10 difference. All I'm saying is do the math. Now, what I will tell you, though, is you may have to go down longer stairs, right? It may be harder to get out of here than if you're up here. Like we just jumped right in line and got out. If you're down here, yeah, you may not be able to get out as fast. But let's take a look. Like when you see 406, what are we talking about here? Holy hell. Just to give you an idea, the size of the sphere, this little section right here is all these seats. It is freaking huge, the number of people that you're going to have. And so you can pick up your seats, right? Now, understand, so you're talking about, first off, you're talking about $135, $130 plus. Oh, by the way, don't forget all of the fees. So you're going to pay a Ticketmaster fee. You're going to pay a service fee. You're going to pay all these fees. So $134 is not out the door. Think more like $150 out the door per person, per ticket. Unbelievable, right? So it's pricey. Then if you want to park, right? If you're not taking rideshare, God, don't take rideshare. I watch these people standing for hours trying to get rideshare. It's unbelievable. Don't use rideshare. But if you want to drive in, that's $30 to park. $30 on top of that. Once you get inside, if you want a basic set of snacks, a couple drinks, some popcorn, maybe a hot dog and some pretzel bites, plan on spending about $110 for that. Over $100 just for the snacks on top of the ticket price and the parking. So you got to consider, how much do you love The Wizard of Oz, right? Now, you're not here to see The Wizard of Oz. You're here to see the tornado in The Wizard of Oz. Let's be clear. You're here to experience the technology of the sphere, which is undeniably freaking amazing. And you're here to watch the tornado sequence in The Wizard of Oz. Unless you're one of those like Wizard of Oz freaks that just loves The Wizard of Oz, you're here for the tornado and it lasts for about 3-4 minutes. That's what you're paying for. Real connoisseurs of The Wizard of Oz are probably not going to like this. So if you're a diehard wizard, if you're planning on wearing ruby slippers to see this, might not be your show. I would be upset. If a movie that I really, really loved got this treatment outside of the tornado, I'd be probably pretty upset, right? So what you're seeing when they go in here, not here, this is the actual, they don't show you enough, but when you go inside the atrium, there's a few things for you to see, and I'm going to put that up on the screen. I've got some video from inside. You're going to see a couple of cool looking things. You're going to be overrun by shops and merch and food, and pay very close attention to how you get to your seats. It's very convoluted. It's not only your section, but it's your row and seat as well. And one section could have 3 different entrances based on your row and your seat. Now, if you're used to stadium seating, it's probably pretty close to like going to a large sports stadium. For those of us who don't go to large sports stadiums, this can be extraordinarily confusing, especially if you've got young kids with you. Maybe some confused older folks with you, or you have an impatient family member. It could be problematic, and there are tons and tons and tons of people here. Is it worth it, right? So is it worth it? If you are a casual lover of The Wizard of Oz, you've never been to the Sphere, and you'd like this to be your first experience, I think you would be fine. If AI sticks out to you like a sore thumb and it bothers you, stay the hell away from this, because half of the damn movie is AI generated. And it's blatantly obvious for anybody that has their eyes open, right? Now, for some people, that doesn't bother them. But you can actually see things like the Munchkins dancing around and they are like floating above the floor. And you can see that because it's AI generated and it doesn't look right. It's uncanny valley. All of the wide shots or all of the sky and the sides all have to be AI generated. And sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't tell. The tornado is absolutely badass. It is an experience. And if you're thinking to yourself, I can pay $135 for 3 to 5 minutes of unbelievable tornado realism, I'd say you're going to the right show. I would consider cheaper seats. I would consider maybe waiting for the prices to drop or off season or whatever, where you could get a little bit better of a deal. It was enjoyable. Would I see it again? No. One time is enough. Will I go back to the Sphere? Oh, hell yes. I love the Sphere. I like the movie that they had before they had this here. And I am absolutely sure whatever they do next, I'm going to want to go see that too. But it all depends on your love of Wizard of Oz. And sometimes too much love is a bad thing, which is what I'm trying to say here. The AI, like I said, I was not enchanted by it. It felt wrong, but I'm hypersensitive to that sort of thing. When they actually put full people back into the picture that shouldn't have been there, when they try to fill gen an area with the same people that were seen at a different angle, you're going to see it, and it's either going to bother you or it's not. It bothered me. So that's it. Now you know what you can expect. You know all the good, all the bad. You know the price, and you know a few secrets on getting around. Park, don't ride share. Make sure you know where your seats are ahead of time. If you come late, just turn around and leave. Don't be an asshole. Because I wanted to trip those two people with their kid. I just wanted to push them off when they not only interrupted us once to come in late, but also to leave early. It's like, what's wrong with you people? So there you have it. Listen, if you have questions, specific questions about the experience, leave them in the comments down below. If I helped you out, leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, of course. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.